Welcome back to Overanalyzing Music. Today we have a very special request, 21 Pilots. Now, I haven't listened to 21 Pilots since like 2015 or like 2014, I don't know, over 10 years ago. So this will be a little bit of a reaction video and an overanalysis video, best of both worlds. I'm familiar with how I go through this. Check out the other episodes, it's all explained there. Let's do it. So we are doing Heathens. I was not aware that this was in the Suicide Squad movie, which came out in 2016. So that was 10 years ago. That's exactly what I said. I haven't listened to this song in probably over 10 years. So I was just on the cusp. I'll also be watching the music video along with overanalyzing the music. I won't talk about the music video. I'm only going to be talking about the musical aspects. So if you want me to talk about the music video, that's a whole separate thing, which I could do as a whole separate series. But it just gives me something to watch and something for you to watch as well. I'm going to have captions on so I can get the lyrics. It's hard for me to hear lyrics in music. Now we start with this like ethereal noises. I guess it's not ethereal, it's industrial noises. So it's not actually in the song. I don't know if the music video has to do with the Suicide Squad or not. I'm assuming it probably does a little bit. But I'm not going to be talking about the music video.
All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know.
I'm going to stop it right there because if you listen really closely, we hear his main voice, and then we hear this really high-pitched voice. I guess it's going maybe through a vocoder or synth, but I always pause it when we have more than one voice going on at the same time. We have to ask what that signifies. I think for this, I don't know too much yet. I don't know the story of the song. I don't know too much yet, but what I could assume is there's the external voice, you can see him actually mouthing the words, and then there's the internal voice. So maybe at some point those clash. Maybe at some point we only hear the internal voice. Maybe at some point we only heard the external voice. Although he seems like he's talking to himself. Although I have no context for any of this information yet. So we'll see what happens. Oh, also those chum chum, chum chum. A nice little preview for what's to come.
The half of the abuse. All my friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves.
One thing I do know about the band is that they're very highly talented producers. So we gotta always take a moment. When you have a highly talented producing artist, you have to take a moment and analyze their production value. And right now, the production is very dry. The hi-hat doesn't even have reverb on it. The snare is super dry. There's not much of a musical background to it yet. There's like a little bit of a drone note, but the voice is really the only melodic and at this point harmonic thing happening. So it's very dry. We'll see why. I'm not sure why that is yet. Also, what is a heathen? Okay, so someone who doesn't believe in specifically the god of the like Judeo-Christian religions. All right.
You don't know the half of the abuse. Welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they loved one day docked away. Just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. You loving on the psychopath sitting next to you. You loving on the murderer sitting next to you. You think I'd get here sitting next to you. But after all I've said, please don't forget. All my friends are heathens.
The production value, again, it's building. We have some more texture now. We have this like, I don't know, ethereal voice chorus synthesizer in the background. The texture is thickening, and it's the timbre of it. Maybe it's not necessarily a timbral note, but it's becoming a lot, not a lot less, but less dry. So we're building to something right now. And yeah.
Take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know. Please don't make any sudden moves. You don't know that.
even look at the way he's playing that drum set, like minimal effort going into that beat, completely opening the space of the drums itself. Like this right now, the song is completely open space. And you know what? It could pertain to the idea of isolation or desolation or oppression, suppression. Like this idea that he is this psychotic nutcase, but take it slow. You don't know half the abuse, is what he's saying. And so he's down in the dumps right now. He's very introspective, and the music is reflecting that by being, a very thin texture. The timbral notes are not so bright yet. They're still kind of dull, and there's a lot of space in the production. Oh, and that's what I meant. The very signification of the beat, or I should say it a different way. The beat itself is a signification of openness. So we don't deal with outsiders very well. Or isolation, or wherever you want to do with that. Trust issues, not to mention. They say they can. Now he's like barely playing the drums, just he's keeping as minimal of a beat as you possibly can on the drums. You just need the bass on the one. Was it 3? Whatever. Wherever he has the drums is on 3, on 2. I don't know if he's halftime, whatever this is. Point is, he's keeping it as minimal as possible. So maybe that was the word I'm looking for. It's minimal. I still think isolation and desolation are the signifiers right now. I'm basing it a little bit off the music video, but it helps a little bit. Sitting next to you, you have some weird people sitting next to you. You think I did not get here sitting next to you, but after all I've said, please don't forget. The texture is huge right now, and we have the drums, full rhythm, right? Every single beat is filled in. The quarter note, fundamental beat is filled in. The eighth notes are filled in with the hi-hat. We have more instruments playing, fuller rhythms, or I should say more sustained rhythms. So we're filling in, and we're coming to a climactic moment. I could only assume. So there was no climax there, so maybe I was wrong, but we're still building to something. Also, if you listen very closely, like panned hard left and panned hard right, or there's these little voices talking in the background. It's almost like to make you go insane. I think that's so cool, because it's almost as if to say, what is he saying? The person next to you don't know that they're crazy, and I was sitting next to you, I'm crazy. You didn't know that. And it's like, oh, actually, you could be crazy too. These voices are playing in the back of your head, and you don't even know. You don't know the half of the abuse. Of course, we have like promo for the movie. We get that high-pitched voice again. Actually, the high-pitched voice was isolated, so I'm not sure anymore if it was necessarily him speaking. I don't know who that voice is supposed to represent, but it had its moment alone, singing the refrain, the main refrain. So I have to kind of think about that. What I'm trying to figure out is whether it's actually his voice or if it's our voice. I'm trying to figure out who the subject of the song is. Is he speaking to someone, or is he speaking to himself? Because it changes what that high-pitched voice is and what it represents. What do you think? You should have stayed. I tried to warn you just to stay away. And now they're outside ready to bust. It looks like you might be one of us. There we go. He's talking to someone. It's hinted at that the whole time. I'd have to go back and confirm again. I'm kind of not reacting, but I'm going with this as the music goes along. Part of the beauty of music is that you have to follow it and live with it, and it's not a retrospective thing. If you want to go back and check something out, you physically have to rewind the music to that point in time. Anyway, that's to say, as opposed to like a painting which stands in front of you the whole time. Like, it's not going anywhere, it's in front of you. Point being, I'd have to go back and double check this, so I'm not entirely sure. But it looks like you might be one of us. I think this is the first time we've gotten a subject word, a clarification on the subject. You. So we, the listener, are the subject. So he's been speaking to us the whole time. So maybe that high-pitched voice is our inner dialogue. And it's similar to the pan left and right voices that we heard kind of muttering in the background. Oh, and all that was in his mind, right? That kind of thing. All right. Well, that brought me back to my high school days. That was pretty nice. That was a good song. I like that song. It had a good message to it. Obviously, it has that tie-in to the movie, so I don't know how much of it is authentic to them versus trying to illustrate or illuminate some kind of, I don't know, message that comes in the movie. I think it was just like a credits song for the movie. So it has a little bit to do with the Suicide Squad, but I'm sure it's mainly coming from from their identity. So it was cool. Nice story being told. I really would have to dig deep into what those two voices are signifying, or the high-pitched voice and like the vocoder. Or maybe it's just the regular voice pitched up and his voice, and what that has to do with us as the subject. So let me know your thoughts on that, and stay tuned for the next video. We have some fun videos coming up.